Hello, one and all. It's your boy Jay. That's me. What's good? We're going to get into TNA Emergence from August the 15th, 2025. This show was a middle-of-the-road show. There were a few matches on the card that I could have done without and that I really wasn't all that invested in. But overall, the event itself was okay. It was not that bad. I don't know how many people were in attendance, but it felt like it was probably at least a good, maybe between 2,000 and 2,500 people. That's what it sounded like. So that wasn't bad. So we're going to briefly go over the pre-show. So Indy Hartwell, she defeated Rosemary. She wins via the Hurt Donuts. The Hurts donut, 1, 2, 3. So whatever. I don't know why they're pushing Indy, but it is what it is. They need to push Dakara Jackson, aka Mara Slade. They need to push her. Moving on. So Moose, he's backstage. He apologizes to Sami Callihan for recent harsh words. So to his surprise, Sami thanks him, admitting that he honestly fueled his fire. Sami vowed that if he wouldn't defeat Mike Santana tonight, he would retire from in-ring. Okay, that's fine. Then this leads us into the Hometown Town, a.k.a. Diener. His sorry ass was on the show. He defeated Ryan Namath. Who cares about this? Moving on to the main card. First match of the night. Leon Slater versus Cedric Alexander for the X Division Championship. Leon Slater defeats Cedric Alexander. This match was really good, hard-hitting. Cedric did several German suplexes in the match. He ended up, working the back of Slater, which was good. So Slater sold it out throughout the match. He attempted to go for the 450 Swanton like 2 or 3 times on the match, and Cedric kept on getting out of it and everything. Then he ended up hitting the Styles Clash, that being Leon Slater, and then he finally was able to hit the Swanton 450 for the 1, 2, 3. Good stuff. There was like a good 15 to 20 minute match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Good way to start off the show. Both guys shook hands and embraced post-match, so good stuff there. Moving on, this leads us into Trick Williams and First Class. They have a backstage segment. So Gia Miller, she catches up with Trick. So they just express full confidence in heading into their matches tonight. Moving on, so this leads us into a match I didn't really care about at all. This match should have been on the pre-show, for being honest. Mustafa Ali was defeated by sorry-ass Matt Cardona. And Matt Cardona was able to fight off not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 people. Actually, 5 people if you count. Yeah, 4 people. On the outside. Tasha Steelz. The System, they got involved in the match as well. So, there's that. Fuck the System, man. I don't care about them as a faction. I don't. And I have no idea why TNA continues to push them still. It's a waste of time. It really is. Moving on, this leads us into the System versus First Class. First Class, they defeat the System. Who cares? I don't care about both teams. Whatever. Moving on, then this leads us into Mike Santana versus Sami Callihan. So Sami got on the mic and he welcomed a couple of his friends, and he wanted to go out on his own sword. So he ended up making it a Baltimore street fight, which Mike Santana gladly accepted. I didn't care about this match at all, really. Why? Because I'm not a fan of Sami Callihan. I used to be. I've been over him for quite some time now, and this was no different. So Mike Santana wins. He wins via the spin the block. So it is what it is. Match didn't last too long. So post-match, Sami Callihan, he leaves his boots in the ring. So Eric Young shows up. He confronted him backstage. And then Joe Hendry, he showed up to, support Sami. And Joe Hendry was on commentary in this match, which was kind of weird, too. So there's that. Moving on. We go backstage. So Ryan, he reminds everyone that he and his brother, they still hold a contractual rematch for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Okay, that's fine. I'm pretty sure it'll be the Hardyz and them one more time at Victory Road in September. Moving on. Let's lead us into the Fatal 4-Way for the TNA Knockout Tag Team Championships. The Elegance brand versus the Inspiration versus Fatal Influence versus Xia Li and Xia Brookside. So before the match even took place, Tommy Dreamer, he came out with, I think, Carlos Silva. He was there. And they offered Lei Ling a new contract and everything. So that's cool. Makes sense. Then this leads us into the match. Match wasn't too long. It was just a spot fest. A bunch of run-ins and stuff. So basically, Heather and M, they win after they hit, I believe, one of the members of the Inspiration with the title belt. The referee didn't see it, and they ended up getting the pinfall. So that's how they win. So that's fine there. All right, good stuff. Moving on, this leads us into Steve Maclin versus Jake Something for the TNA International Championship. No countouts, no DQ. Maclin wins. He retains via the KIA. Match was all right. Jake Something needs to go to NXT quick, fast, in a hurry. TNA clearly does not care about Jake Something. Jake Something is money. I don't understand why TNA will not push Jake Something. He's been there for on and off, maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe even more than that. But Jake Something has something. He's great. He's got a great look. Pretty okay on the mic as well. Believable world champion. And it's just sad that he's in this predicament. And he loses to Maclin, which it is what it is. So post-match, Steve Maclin and Frankie Kazerian, they have some words. Maclin gets back into the ring, rolls back into the ring, and he challenges Frankie to a fight. Frankie's like, nah, not now. So they're setting up Steve Maclin versus Frankie Kazerian, probably at Victory Road next month. So who gives a shit about that? Moving on, let's lead us into the co-main event. The Hardyz, they defeated the Rascals to retain the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Match was pretty decent here. Fast-paced stuff. Good stuff here. Wentz hit a swanton. Jeff kicked out. And then post-match, Jeff ends up hitting the swanton for the 1-2-3. I forgot who he pinned. Doesn't matter. And then post-match, both teams, they shake hands, and that was it. So that's fine there. Moving on, this leads us into first-class Penthouse segment, whatever reason, just to kill time. So AJ Francis and Rich Swann, they disrespected Baltimore. So then the Baltimore Ravens mascot, Poe, he showed up, and then the System showed up, and then it was a massive brawl that took place. I don't care about this shit. I really don't. Main event of the evening, Trick Williams defeated Moose to retain the TNA World Championship. Match was okay. The crowd was into it. The crowd was on the side of Moose for a little bit. So it does seem like they're going to try to turn the System face for whatever reason, but I don't give a shit what they do when it comes to the System. Fuck the System. So for whatever reason in this match, there was a ref bump. Moose got a couple power bombs in. He got a superplex in as well. Moose hit a spear on Trick. So then Trick hit a trick shot knee on the back of Moose, and then he hit another one for the 1, 2, 3, and Trick Williams retains. I also forgot to mention when they're fighting on the outside. Trick ended up doing a back body drop and putting Moose to a table. So the crowd popped for that. It was an okay little spot. So, there's that. But Trick wins. Post-match, Carlos Silva, he presents Trick Williams with the championship, and then Trick celebrates, and then that was the show. So overall, TNA Emergence to me was okay. It was not bad, I wouldn't say. Again, I'm still wondering, why is TNA still continuing to push guys that they don't need anymore? I wish they would quit pushing Moose and Brian, the system as a whole. Don't push them anymore. Move them on. I don't know why they're still pushing Frankie Kazerian. I have no idea why they're doing this stuff. So at this point, it is, what it is. But this was an okay show for the most part. I know that WWE is pushing TNA to be the number 2 promotion. And I do think that they will succeed in that. I do think that they'll eventually bring more main roster guys and girls that aren't really doing anything on Raw or SmackDown and just put them in NXT or put them in TNA for a while. I do expect for the CW to pick up TNA. I think that would be tremendous. I do think that that WWE is not going to buy out TNA at all. They never were going to do that anyway. If they wanted to, they could have bought them years ago. Same thing with Tony Khan. He could have bought them years ago. Neither promotion chose to do that. And thankfully, TNA is still standalone. They've got their big brother, WWE in their back pocket. And WWE really wants them to be successful. I don't see WWE buying up TNA. It just would not make any sense. It just wouldn't. I think WWE wants TNA to be successful. I think Carlos Silva wants TNA to be profitable, after what they've been through the years, especially with the Scott D'Amore years. That era of TNA was not that good. I mean, it was okay, but no. TNA now, it's more talked about. People are still, talking about it. It's still, being mentioned and supported and everything. I know people online will try to shit on TNA, but there's no point. It's because these people are just fanboys of AEW or whatever. But you guys know I've been covering the product for years, honestly. And I've loved TNA. I've actually been an OG TNA fan since, the inception of TNA. I think I started watching it either in 02 or 03. I believe it was 02. So I've been watching it for a minute. I'm a massive supporter of it. I do not want there to just be 2 big wrestling companies and there's nothing else. I think you always should have a third option. You really should. And hopefully TNA is successful in getting a TV deal. I do think by Bound for Glory, they'll have a TV deal in place, and they'll announce it for sure. So, there's that. I'm interested in the Fallout show, what's going to happen. I know they're going to do tapings for that. It starts on, Saturday on the 16th. So that's fine there. So we'll probably get a couple weeks of taping for that. But it does seem like TNA is headed into the right direction. I do expect for them to be on either the CW or A&E by Bound for Glory time. So that's going to be great. And we don't even know if there really is going to be a Wednesday Night Wars. I think that's just, rumors. I don't see that happening just yet. I feel like that roster needs a drastic change. If that's going to happen, you got to get rid of your Mooses, your Brian Myers, your Eddie Edwards. You got to get rid of a lot of guys on that roster. So, it is what it is. But overall, Overall, Emergence was okay for the most part. And There were some matches that I enjoyed. I liked the opener. I liked the main event. It was okay. The co-main was pretty okay too. So it was an okay little show. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.